Welcome to this week's episode of Queen Space Conversations with me, your host, Mary MJ Harper. This episode is truly special as I sit down with two of my oldest and dearest friends, Renita Brown and Cassie Hayes. Together, we'll share laughter, cherished memories, and meaningful life lessons about marriage, family, and friendship. So settle in, make yourself comfortable, and let's dive into this heartwarming conversation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's episode of Queen Space Conversations. This is a very, very special episode for me because I am blessed to have two of my oldest, dearest sister friends join me on set way from St. Louis, Missouri. And these are my friends Renita and my friend Cassie. And I call these ladies my sister friends because I have been friends with these ladies over 35 years. Over 35 years of friendship here. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about what healthy relationships look like, healthy friendships look like, healthy boundaries, with friendships, and, just sharing some of the things that we have experienced together over the course of these years. We have experienced adolescence together, Renita and I, our teenage years. We experienced our young adult years together. We experienced motherhood together, marriage, divorce, loss,
Wow.
So even with Cassie and I, our girls are just a little over a month apart. We work together, and so we was walking around with them bellies together on the job, and just there with each other through motherhood, and we've just seen each other through tremendous loss. Cassie losing her mom early in our friendship, my parents passing away, our children, different things. So welcome to Queen Space Conversations, ladies.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, I am so blessed. Yes. Excited. What do you remember?
Oh, girl, listen. Girl, honey, listen. It was the 3rd of September. It was definitely September of 1988.
Yeah. No way.
Yes. Yep. September 1988. We had just went back to school. 8th grade year. Cook Middle. Shout out to Cook Middle.
Cook Middle, yes.
We met, and I remember us being in a class together, and you started laughing. And you started laughing, sounding like the Count on Sesame Street. And when I tell you, I was like, what? I said, now wait a minute now. This girl laughed. I said, you sound like the Count on Sesame Street. Girl, laugh again. Like she just laughed on cue. Laugh again. And she did that little laugh and
And I catch myself. I have to catch myself because sometimes I still hear myself doing it, and all I can hear is Renita talking about, you sound like Count Dracula.
And I don't know, we just been friends ever since.
And that's what it was. I remember I was coming from a Christian school, and my parents had decided, to put me in the local school at in our community, and I thought, oh my God, I didn't want to do that, And so I got there. I didn't know what to expect. I just thought the kids were from a whole nother planet in public school.
Culture shock.
Yes, I experienced culture shock. I didn't have no friends. I was just kind of to myself. And kids can be cruel in high school, in grade school in this case. And the little boys was mean to me. And I wasn't even bothering nobody, but they would just be mean to me. And it was that one girl, Venus, used to always sing that song when we was on lunch break. Mary, Mary, why you boogie? And I used to get so mad. Yes.
Okay.
And I remember when she used to say that. I used to hate that. So I would say to myself, you know, and one day we were in class and Renita said something so funny. Everybody laughed. And the part she left out is the funniest part. Because our next period class we went to was gym.
Okay.
And I had just got dressed and was sitting on the bench putting my tennis shoes on for gym. And here come Renita with about 4 or 5 other girls talking about, that's her! That's the one that sound like Count Dracula when she laughed. Laugh, show him.
I don't even remember that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was you,
LaQuanda, Petey.
Yeah, Petey and Tita. Yeah. And that's who it was.
Okay.
And so these girls
She
came.
brought them up to you.
She brought them over.
You don't even know her.
I don't even. They laughed.
They laughed too, huh? I said, Lord, this girl said, I swear to God, she sounded exactly like the Count on Sesame Street. I had never seen it before.
And believe it or not, after that day, I had friends. Now I got 5 friends because she said, "You want to walk home with us?"
Was I that sassy?
You were.
I probably was.
You were. She didn't know it, but I was kind of clinging to her because one of the girls in the group scared me, Tita. Because Tita was a tomboy, you know, and she would jump on my back and stuff, you know.
Tita, when you see this girl, we love you, girl. That's our girl there, honey.
It was all fun and games. You know, she wasn't like trying to beat me up or nothing, but she was just one of them playful bullies. And she was rough. You know, and every lunch break, I'd be out there scared to talk to anybody. And now I think about it, it was probably her way of trying to be my friend, for real. You know, because she'll go grab me by the neck and I'll be like, you know. You know, after that day, Renita brought them over, and you know, they heard me laugh. She asked me did I want to walk home from school, and that day, I invited them home with me, and we sat in my house and ate noodles.
Yeah, you did, ate ramen noodles. We did,
and we've been friends ever since. But Tita and Renita and I,
Tita's still around. She ain't going nowhere.
We have remained, you know, close friends now for over 35 years. So let's see, what did we say? 88,
36 years.
36 years. 36 years, a long time. A long time. And Cassie and I working with, you know, each other at AT&T. And we worked with each other about a year before we got close.
Okay.
You know, we were on different teams, but, you know, we worked in the same area. She was always friendly. I was always friendly. And, but then when they merged our teams and we ended up sitting on each side of the cubicle from each other. And then we were pregnant at the same time.
Right.
You know, we sharing stuff about the babies and
first
time, both of us were first time moms. Yes, we were both having girls, you know, and we both were single moms. We were doing it, you know, on our own or whatever. And, you know, we just connected. We just instantly connected. And our girls got close, and then my girlfriend Candy, my sister friend Candy was also pregnant at the same time.
Oh my God, yeah, she sure was.
Yeah, so that's why we always celebrate our girls around the same time.
Yeah, because y'all had y'all kids together.
Yeah, because we had our kids together. And Candy's baby was due when Farrah, because she was early. So Candy's baby came in February. And she wasn't due till March. And then Farrah was due, no, I take that back. Candy's baby was January. And she came early. Okay. And then Farrah was due at the end of March and came in the beginning of March. And it was Jen on time, or was she
was on time, and she was the end of January.
And she was the end of January.
She first, then Candy baby, then
Okay. Yeah. So they're all right in there. So we try to keep our girls, you know, visiting with each other and in touch with each other. We got pictures of them together at what?
5 years old, birthday parties, stuff like that. And so, just giving them an opportunity to know that they have lifelong friends out there, and they have each other's information. Sometimes they'll talk to each other, and I'll be thinking they not communicating, and I'll be like, you don't never call Katie, or and they be like, Mama, I talk to them so and such a time, and I'll be talking without me. Well, let me mind my business. So not only have we experienced, motherhood together, but we've experienced marriage together. First time marriages. Renita was first, and then I followed up behind you. How many years later?
I don't know. What year did you get married?
2016.
So 6 years later.
So 6 years later, I joined the ranks and was married, and then you and Josh got married. 2000. We got married the same year.
Yeah, we did December.
Okay, y'all got married in December, and Darren and I got married in April. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we had our actual wedding in October. Yeah.
Well, I had to be the first for everything. I had the first baby, and my baby way older than y'all, baby.
Well, you a seasoned woman.
I know.
You got a birthday coming up too, believe me.
Yes, Tuesday.
Yes.
You a seasoned woman.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You lead the way.
Blazing the trail.
There you go.
Blazing the trail. So let's talk about marriage. So Cassie and Josh are still hanging in there, doing wonderful, and celebrating how many years now?
It'll be 8 in December.
That's good.
We gonna make the 7-year itch.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Get over that.
That's
A little rough.
Yes.
As it is in marriage, as with anything, marriage and friendships too.
Yes.
So, like I say, we gonna stay the course. Like I said, it'll be 8 years in December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what has been one of the most challenging parts about your marriage?
Communication. And communication is something constantly that needs to be had on an ongoing basis. It should never stop. You should grow and communicate. I would say, as you grow, conversations have to be had often.
Yes.
Whether they tough conversations, they gotta be had. Good, bad, ugly, you gotta have them. So my husband, he is just kind of laid back, and I had to kind of just meet him where he is, on his level. I want different things sometimes, but where I don't want the same thing or don't think he wants the same thing, we just have to communicate to be on the same page. That has been the most difficult challenge, pulling things out. Because I ain't a mind reader. I ain't gonna try to read your mind. You ain't gonna cold shoulder me. And let's talk this thing out. Yeah. Most of the time, a simple conversation resolves it all.
That's right.
It's not as big as we make it to be, but the problem can't lie there unsettled or without sound.
So what's one thing that you have learned about yourself, that you didn't realize you were or you had in you or whatever, that came out as a process of you being a wife and being a mother?
Well, I constantly say the expectations are way too high for being a woman, a wife, a mom, a friend, all of that. The bar is set when it comes to Black women. What I've learned about myself more so, and what I admire by myself, is really my strength. I do this thing. Like I say, I do this. The easy I make it look easy. Yes. I do the wife thing, I do the mom thing, I do the me thing. Like I said, it has not come without trial and error, but in life, as I ever grow and try to improve me, there are no losses, there are only learns. So I really can admire my strength when it comes to doing this, because it's not easy. And again, we go back to learned behaviors, but learned behaviors are not always right. So it's just what we know, it's what we're comfortable with, it's what we're used to, it's what we've seen. But in this household, this is how we doing things. This is what we want this to look like.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's what my take on that. And like I say, even though we are doing this, we're a blended family. a two-parent household. This is what I want. This is our family. This is our story. So that's how I kind of make our unit in this household, to make it look like we create a new tradition. Not that we can't bring in what we learned from Big Mama's house or Big Daddy's house or Grandma and Grandpa. It don't mean it's right, but like I say, this is a new day and age. We're in 2024. That's what we do. We create our own story, the green way.
You know, marriage is a partnership. You know, and yes, you know, you the head of the household, but you know, you trust me to be your partner. You know, to work hand in hand. You have what you bring to the table,
right?
You know. But what you bring to the table, I am the table.
There you go.
You know, and you hear that saying out there a lot of times, you know, all over social. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Baby, what you mean? I am the table.
That part.
Because the table is your support. You know, because you can bring whatever you want to the table, but if the table ain't got no solid legs, if the body of the table ain't solid, you know, when you put whatever on it, it's gonna fall apart. So honey, I am the table. You know, bring what you want, bring it to me. I'm your support. I'm gonna help sustain, you know, sustain the family, things of that nature, you know. So don't ask me what I'm bringing to the table, honey. I am your table. So when you come and you have a seat at this table, it's gonna be prepared for you. You know, I know how to prepare a house for you. I know how to make sure that when you come home, your clothes is clean, your bed is made, your water is ran, your food is hot. I can do all that all night and all day long, but give me a reason to want to.
Give me a reason to
you know what I'm saying? You can give anything to a woman, and we have the ability to take that little bit that you give us, and we know how to multiply. You know, we know how to do some more with it. So, you know, I love what you said about that, because it just, you know, speaks volumes to the fact that marriage is about partnership. You know, and it's about having trust and confidence, you know, in the person that you are with, you know, and that's how marriages are going to be sustained and last.
In the dynamic that I had with my ex-husband, I think I just kind of, I don't know, I think I'm too laid back sometimes. I think I'm way too laid back, and I'm way too whatever. You know, they have that whatever mentality, because a lot of things I let go by and slide, because I guess I just didn't care enough. And I don't know if that was because I had mentally checked out, or if that's just my personality, because I do have a tendency to just be like, I don't care. You know, when the disrespect got too blatant, is when I said, okay, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Tony, you kind of got me on the spot here. I don't do good with being put on the spot, because it's been 3 years now since I've been divorced. Yeah, I don't know. I think I done came numb to that whole situation. It just kind of, it's just in the back of my mind now, because it's a lot tied to that already. So
I talk about a lot of times a phrase that I got from a friend of mine that she always puts on her Facebook tags and posts, and it's dissolve and evolve. Dissolve and evolve. My interpretation of it and how I apply it to myself is that we're ever changing, you know, and the experiences that we go through in life and the things that we face, they cause us to change, you know. And as we move into different phases in life, you know, we are evolving into, you know, another person, and you know, into that person that we're meant to be. But in order to be that, sometimes you have to dissolve some things. You know, you have to let some things go. You have to, you know, let go of old habits, or you know, frames of thinking, things like that, in order to progress and become, you know, who we are. This is your 50th birthday, you know, and wisdom comes with that. So when you think about your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the amazing, you know, what are some things that as you move forward you find yourself dissolving, you know, in order to evolve into the person that you are today?
I have dissolved not being able to give other people grace.
Before I say what I have dissolved, I'll definitely say this, and ever evolving and ever changing, like you said, it's a quote, motto, slogan. Life goes on.
Yes.
So that's where I am at. I have been very grateful to say that I've had a good life. So like I say, it wasn't really rough. It has had its challenges more in my adult years than anything. But I was, as an only child, growing up, I felt like I just had the need for people trying to make everybody happy but me. So I have definitely got rid of, I'm a former people pleaser. So I can say that, like I say, I feel like I have given much of my life to other people, and now where I'm poured into others, I now pour into me.
That's right.
I recently had therapy, y'all. Just tell y'all, get your mental health checked.
Yes.
Do what you have to do. But early on, when my mom passed, I took on a lot of stuff. I didn't have the capacity to do it or handle a lot of those things. I was early 30s, but I wasn't ready. I didn't want to. It was just kind of thrown in my lap. And I'm a former people pleaser. I was the only child, so I love friends. I love going to my cousin's house. I love being with my friends, and it just made me feel good. And to see them feel good, or like I say, whatever you need, I got here. You want the shirt, you can have it, without thought or thinking. And it wasn't healthy. Is what I'll say. It's not a bad thing that you helping people, but sometimes people within, with friends, family, they have their seasons and they can be users because they see the kind of person that you are. It wasn't doing anything with an expecting anything back, but I have just poured into others. And when pouring into others, it drained a lot out of me.
Yeah.
So now I'll say dissolve people pleasing and evolve and pleasing myself.
Cassie gave us a great segue
Yeah.
into talking about friendships and the type of friendships that we have with people, and you do have entertaining friends. You do have those friends that you can confide in. You've got friends that you call friends that should really be associates or should really just be acquaintances.
Right.
And I remember growing up, my mom used to tell me, stop using that word so loosely. Everybody is not your friend. And I used to think she just didn't want me to have friends. But time keep on ticking. And you learn, what that means. And it just means that you just gotta know what type of friend
What lane to put them in.
What lane to put them in. And I refer to lanes all the time. I'm gonna let you show me what lane I need to put you in. And so I have really learned a lot about, the different types of friends that I have. And in recent years, I've learned about, accepting friends for who they are. And, not having so many expectations on them, and just because they can't do or won't do or something, doesn't mean that they're not your friend. As 2 years, as far as my close friends or people that I consider to be close friends in Dallas, Renita knows more than anything, let's see, how can I put it? How I learned a very painful lesson about friendships and people you consider to be friends. And, that painful lesson was compiled, during the fact that it all happened during the time that I was, going through my mom being ill and then transitioning. And then the, sudden death of my dad. And so to be dealing with that and coming to the realization that people I have called friends and sisters here, have been everything but a friend, to me was, pretty, it was traumatic. And I think that's exactly what we call it. Mm-hmm. It was a very traumatic experience.
Yeah.
I went through some things, over the course of my marriage and my separation and the relationship that I was involved with, after that, which was, even more toxic than my marriage, unfortunately, and someone who I consider to be a friend and a confidant, to hear from strangers that, she's sitting up in rooms, in our home and inviting people over to make, the most traumatic situation I've ever experienced in my life, a part of general conversation. It was pretty traumatizing for me. Mm-hmm. I had another friend, I called her a friend, I called her my little sister, and kill a brick and drown a fish for her, to turn around and tell me that, and do a public service announcement on social media and via text to everyone that we had in common and said, I've decided that me and Mary can no longer be friends. I've already notified her by email and by text. You kidding?
No.
And she sent it to our friend circle. And the reason why was because she felt like, despite the fact that I had lost my job and I was unemployed and about to lose my home and going through a divorce, and my mother has dementia and is in the process of transitioning, and I'm trying to go back and forth to St. Louis every month, she felt like because I wasn't in a place, or I did not have the mental capacity to celebrate her building her first home and her daughter graduating from high school, that I could no longer be her friend because I was just not emotionally available for her.
So you mean to tell me you had all that going on?
Yes.
And in her cursed state, you wasn't there to celebrate her wins, and you got all these losses?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She decided to part ways, or you're not her friend for that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are no losses, only learns.
There you go.
That's it.
There are no losses, only
There are no
learns.
losses, only learn.
You be careful who you call your friend.
Yes.
Definitely do.
Yes.
But I am one. I don't mind building relationships and things like that, because you don't know the bonds or the connections that you can make. So I'm not. I hate the word no new friends.
Yeah.
Friendships. You just have to know who the friends are
Right.
that you have. Yeah.
Count on me through thick
There you go.
and thin.
I don't have my lighter.
Friendship
Yes.
will never end.
Okay.